Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and welcome back. Today is a big day. We are going to do some fun things along with select 2 winners for the printed version of the Thank You Fabulous Flowers paper kit that I've made. So I put everybody that entered in the drawing their names on these little slips of paper, and I put them in this cute llama mug, and I realized it's too small. I need it to be able to mix up. My husband was just upstairs and he said he'd bring me a bowl. I was like, just get a plastic bowl or something that's big. And anyway, and I realize now he hasn't brought it back up. He offered to, but I'm sure he will here in a minute. We'll do the drawing here in just a little bit because I was going to give you guys a little bit of information first and show you what we're going to make today. So why don't I show you what we're going to make? This is the journal that is in process. It's like that Z fold kind of flip flop. And I want to make a fold out page in mine, or a flip out page. And so I've made a prototype, and then we're going to make one together. So what I like about this though is if you're making a journal or you want to make a flip out page in any journal, this will be a project to show you how to do that, right? And of course you can use any papers that you have. But if you're not making a big journal, but you want to make something with us, we can actually, this can be a fun accordion kind of folio. So this is my prototype. Let me show you how it will go in the journal. I want to attach it with this panel. And when I glue it in, I'm going to glue on 3 sides to leave it open to have a side load pocket. And then when you get to this page, it will open like this and like this, and then with a pocket. All right. I used some book page from a flower book that I have to make mine. So I'll show you a little more about this in a minute. You can use, if you don't have a book page, you could use cardstock, or you could use one of the pages in the kit. I mean, it could be one that has the pattern, or it could be one of the solid colors. So that's what we're going to make today. The one that we'll make together, I will fold the same way, but probably back everything and make it more of a tuck in a pocket or standalone folio. This one will be the one then that ends up in my journal, and we'll attach it to in a little bit. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. But before I get started, let me tell you guys, I'm so excited. So far, and I'm filming this on Sunday afternoon. We had the time. Daylight savings time started here in the U.S., so I'm a little discombobulated, but it is Sunday afternoon, and at the time of filming this, 274 of you have already claimed the digital paper kit. Yay! That's so exciting to me to think that people are going to work with it. And then I had 88 of you that are entered into the drawing that commented with your favorite flower. So I popped you in there into the drawing, okay? But I also wanted to just do a little quick shout out, thank yous to a few people that when you were buying me a coffee, actually gave me a tip or bought me a pack of paper or whatever you want to call it. For the kit, which is totally unexpected, but certainly appreciated. So I'm just doing first names, but Barb, Tish, excuse me, I'm so sorry, Terry, Cindy, and then Kathleen. Hey, brave girl. Kathleen is a long time friend of mine. So thank you guys. I see customers on here in my Etsy shop, and people that watch my videos. So thank you. You guys are just awesome and so much appreciated. So I'm going to set that aside, and we are going to craft. In a little bit, we'll do the drawing. Yay. Okay, I'm going to set my journal aside. And like I said, this will be a great, just easy flip if you are making this journal with me. or if you are just wanting to make a standalone or a flip for another journal. So again, let me show you. This is the book that my book page came out of. It's a Time Life Encyclopedia of Gardening Perennials. And let's see, not that it matters, but I'm just interested. Little piece of paper here. 1972. It definitely has that old book smell. The pages are a little shiny, but there certainly are, like, I've used these in other projects. Aren't they gorgeous? Love, love, love them. For my flip out, I just found some pages that were all text. I guess there's not that many, like one like this. Okay. And I'm using that. Again, use whatever paper you want. I did cut mine to a standard size. So, and I'm looking at my notes. My paper is 10.5 inches this way and 7.5 inches this way. I'll put the measurements in the descriptions for you guys, okay? Now, we're basically doing a tri-fold. I didn't want to score this paper. It's pretty sturdy, but I'm still being super careful. So what I did was I just got my ruler. If you want to score yours, you want to score it, and I'll give it to you. Or you can just do like me and fold at 3.5 inches and at 7 inches. So what I did is I just grabbed my pen and I made a little mark at 3.5. Okay. And then I'm going to just do my very best to fold it. It's a thin paper, you know, nice and straight, right? And then I'll just fold it back over for that 7 inch instead of marking it, so that I have 3 sections that each measure 3.5 inches. Okay, so again, super basic fold. Now, I want, or the way I did mine that I'm going to put in my journal, I wanted it to open this way. But of course, you could have it open this way. The one we're going to make together, I'm going to make it just a standalone, fun little easy folio. Okay, and I may then end up tucking it in a pocket later in the journal, or give it to someone like this. All right, so I had an extra in case I messed up. Let me set that over there out of the way. All right, I am layering with some of the watercolor floral pages, the full-size pages that are in the kit. So what I did is I cut, let's see, one of these pages, right? And again, this is what I was saying. If you don't have a book page, you could use one of these. I cut one of these to measure, or cut it into 3 strips that measure 7.25 inches tall. So I just trimmed it so it was 7.25 inches tall, and then I cut 3 strips that measure 3.25 inch. Is that right? I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 7.25. It'll be in the description, but 7.25 inches tall. So chop it off to 7.25, and then each one you can get 3 strips that measure 3.25. Okay. Now I have 6 because I'm going to layer each panel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On my prototype, I only did 5 because I'm going to glue this down into a pocket. You're not going to see it. So I didn't want to, you know, waste my pretty paper. So if you are making a flip out that you're going to glue down, you'll need 5 of these. If you want to do a standalone and you don't want to see the book page, 6, right? Okay. I did not pre-ink. I'm still using my Victorian Velvet, and I'm going to quickly ink these. And again, I I love flips on my journal pages. Sometimes they're a little more involved, like a gatefold, right? Or a drawbridge where it goes maybe down and then out. There's so many kind of flips you can do. This one, I decided I wanted to do like this Z fold because it, oh.
Hey, Sparkles.
Hey, give me 1 second to finish this thought. My helpful husband's here. Because it kind of mirrors then the journal I'm making it for. So that's why. Hi, you brought me a bowl.
Watch something sparkly.
Oh, a sparkly bowl. Let's see what he brought, guys. Ooh, definitely bigger, right? I was explaining how I didn't think my cute llama mug was big enough. Well, since you're here, you want to help us with the drawing?
Sure.
Should we go ahead and do it? Yeah. This is for my printed version of this kit that I'm doing as a giveaway. Okay, so helpful husband, Mr. Sparkles. He's also, what are you? You're vice president of distribution for the Sparkle Empire?
That works.
Yeah, okay. All right, draw, I need two, but do one at a time. Thank you.
One.
Okay, this is our first winner. Tammy Holland 349. That is your YouTube handle. Congratulations, Tammy. You're our first winner. All right, I'm going to set that one there. Okay, pick one more. This is exciting.
That one.
Okay, this one. He's feeling good about this one. All right, Sheila Porter 6795. Congratulations, Sheila and Tammy. Okay. I will hold on to these and let me hand you the sparkly bowl so I don't break it. Thanks for your help, honey.
Have fun.
Oh, we always have fun. Okay, ladies. So congratulations. And I will need each of you to send me an email to give me your mailing address so I can get these shipped to you. They're already printed and ready to go. If you look in the description of the video, I'll put my email address there, but it's silver., like the period, sparkles, LLC @gmail.com. So, okay, there we go. I'm going to set these right here so that I have them. Okay, so back to this. So that was the main reason I decided to do my flip out, design my flip out this way. All right, let's pick, I think I'm going to use this one with a bunch of the yellows on the front. Now, when you open it up, you potentially, depending on then how you decorate it, you may see the pattern. And so I'm thinking I might see if I can figure out, how I cut them apart and put them in that order. That's the only reason I'm doing that. All right, I was in the middle of inking too, wasn't I? So let's finish inking. Well, okay, all three of these are already inked, so we'll go ahead and glue them down and I'll ink around the book page in a little bit. All right, I'm just going to use my white glue, my wet glue, and we're gonna do some hearts and some circles. Don't need a lot of glue. And I am going to center each of these on these panels. Now, one thing that this does, like I said, this is pretty sturdy book page, even though it's almost as old as I am. But I like how it feels when you start getting the layers of the cardstock. And it just gives it a really nice thickness and feel. So, and again, I print my digitals the majority on the time on a 90-pound. It's a bright white cardstock. The brand is Nina. I have it in my Amazon storefront for you guys if you want to take a look at the paper I use the majority of the time, kind of my day-to-day. And it's not, you know, a super heavy-duty cardstock, but it isn't just a piece of copy paper. It's definitely thicker than copy paper, definitely. Okay. I hope you guys will tell Tammy and Sheila congratulations on their win, and I'm excited too. That was funny that you brought me a crystal bowl. I said, just bring me, you know, like a Tupperware. But that's okay. It was the perfect size, I think. I should have had him take my llama cup and get it off of my desk. Okay. Okie dokie. So then it's going to be this way. And now this one will be the opposite side. And of course, I love that flower. Let's see. Is this... I think I may have cut this one. What am I trying to say? Oh, this definitely goes here. There's a strip left, and I think that's what happened with mine, is that, so it doesn't matter. I didn't cut boom, boom, boom. I cut boom, and then then cut from the other end. So it's okay. It's okay. I don't even know if that made sense. And if you don't want to watch me layer these, just use your fast forward button. You guys have been great the last few days with all your sweet congratulation comments, and I had a few people leave me some pretty quotes, and I loved seeing everybody's favorite flowers. Super duper fun. So lots of fun. Okay. Ooh, gosh. There we go. And last one. Now, like whenever we do, you know, a folio or a journal, we have all kinds of options now if we want to put in some journaling space. We just want to add pockets and tuck spots. Again, there could be additional flips or a scrappy pad attached in here. Just the possibilities, of course, are always endless. I was thinking that, you know, I chose to use all these florals. I was thinking I was going to do probably on mine maybe just some inspirational words or a quote, kind of like I did on the other one. But you know, I did a tuck spot and I did a journaling spot on that one too. I'm just getting some ink on here. Okay, enough for now. So another idea though would have been to use those pages that are more solid. That's my cardstock, but you know, the pink, the green, the blue, the yellow, and then use some of the florals for belly bands, pockets, tuck spots. So before you make yours, or make multiples, because that's what I end up doing, you can think that through and decide. All right, I did end up getting that in order. Look, there's that flower, and then there's that flower. All right, I just didn't see it at first. All right, so I have this is the front. I am going to, I liked the little tab that I put on there. And that's just this piece of polka dotted paper that's on my desk from the strawberry one-page wonder that I did a while back. It's still sitting there, so I'm going to use it because I liked that pink. And again, when you're working with a digital kit, a lot of times when I'm really trying to highlight a kit, I try to stay somewhat, you know, within that kit, especially so people aren't frustrated and they know, okay, I can, you know, make this with a kit. But I think it's also fun to mix it up, use some of your scraps, use your book pages, if you have little labels and tags and numbers, whatever. So feel free to add whatever else you have and you like. when you're working with different, you know, paper kits or scrapbook kits, you know, whatever. All right, so let me show you how I did this. So this blue is actually some fabric that I've just cut into some strips, and I think I have a piece like this. I just love it. It's not perfect by any means, but I think I may use this as just a tie closure for my actual journal. You know, I'm thinking, of course, I still have to decorate it. But let me just show you because I think it'll be fun. And I think it's long enough. Yeah, like a little bit thicker than what I normally do. Could even be thicker, right? And then, I don't know, I haven't decided yet how I'm going to decorate the front. But if I did some kind of collage or something and then this bright blue ribbon, would that be pretty? Okay, so not to get us distracted, but that's where that little piece came from. So if you have some fabrics, things in your closet that you're not going to use, you always kind of think about that. This is from another, like a Halloween costume or something that I made one of the kids when they were younger, and it is still in my stash. All right, I have another small piece of that, and of course I have my my seam binding. Maybe we'll get a piece of seam binding, why not? And I probably just need to give up the illusion that I'm going to get this organized. Maybe I will, but for now this is working. We'll do yellow since we've got those pretty yellow flowers. And I don't normally do this, but I decided to use my slot punch and just go ahead and chop right into that whale tab. And it's cute. So again, if you don't have that punch, you can make any shape tab that you want. If you even want a tab, you could just do a little square, or you snip the corner, something like that. I do sometimes punch holes, maybe even add an eyelet and then do dangles and stuff, but I just thought that was cute just with the ribbon on there and simple. Okay, let's do a little bit of decorating. And one thing that I didn't really take the time to do was prepare paper to make pockets with. That's all right. It's okay, Pam. Everything will be okay. I had this one for my prototype, so we might be able to use these, and I can make this. Not really, I mean, it looks a little bit upside down, but if I wanted to do another corner type pocket, I can. I think I'm gonna do this one. Let's just make it actually fit. And if I don't want it upside down, you know, I could always do like a top tuck, little tuck, but I'm gonna just let it be upside down. And we'll have a little corner pocket. I definitely want it to be part of the inside, not the outside or back here. So I'm going to do it on the center one. And there we go. A lot of florals. Woo! A lot happening. Okay, oh, let me show you really quick. So when I was playing or looking through the perennial book, I came across this page that was showing you how to plan a perennial border, and it has the suggestions for fall, summer, and spring. So obviously a lot of blooming in spring and a lot in summer, and then less in the fall. They didn't have a winter section, but I thought it's interesting to look at and to read. So I just decided to add these, and I just liked all the little blobs of green as just something to look at in that pocket. And I may do something with those later in the journal. But anyway, so finding interesting things to put in the pocket. It could be journaling cards or things we make from the kit. It could be notes. It could be journaling paper, right? So many things we could do. Okay, I'm gonna pick, I hate covering up all my pretty flowers, but I am going to pick a panel to be a journaling spot like I did on my prototype. And again, I haven't prepped the paper, but this is just a piece of my coffee dyed paper. And I'm gonna do my best to just tear it straight, leaving just a little border around so you can see the color, but have writing space. So let me go ahead and do that because I know I want that. And again, it would be cute, and this might be what I could do. Instead of gluing it down, I could make it like a flippy pad of paper. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, as I whisper, as if it's a big secret. So I am going to use this one to get the approximate height. And then I'm gonna tear, it's gonna probably end up being 3 sheets. Or I can do this one, not the same width, a little bit more narrow, and we'll have 4 sheets. Okay, we'll just stack them on here, and we'll make a little topper for them. This will be cute. And then when you flip it up, you can still see the pretty flowers, but then you have all this space to journal in, or you could tear these off if you wanted to, and use them as notes in other parts of your folio or your journal. Okay, let's just do this and this. And I'm going to fold it over. Now, if you don't want to see staples, if you don't care, put this on here, staple it, stick it down. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to staple mine like that. And then I'm going to add some ink. You're not going to see the back part, okay? And that'll just cover the staples up. Not necessary, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's glue this to the little pad like that. And you can use 2-sided tape to stick this into your folio if you want to, or you can use the glue. I'm going to just use my glue because it's in my hand, and I'm going to glue it down by the little cover here. Cuteness. Get that a little bit wiggled in there. All right, how sweet is that? Okay, so now when you open it up, you have a little pad of paper. We'll put a word or something here. Maybe we'll do a fussy cut. Let me find one that I want to use. I was thinking some more orange, but I don't want orange. Let's just see. Oh, that one's cute too. That one's kind of in between the orange and the yellow. And I don't think I want to ink it. I think I just want to glue it down. I did a circle, one of the circles on my prototype. Okay. All right, let's see if any of these words pop out at me. And you can use, again, delightful, whatever words you have, quotes, you can handwrite like I did. What did I write? It was a Emerson quote. The earth laughs in flowers, which I think is perfect for these papers, right? Okay, and that's just written on, it was actually a piece of book page, just that didn't have any text on it. Let's do the delightful right there. Just stick it down. Ta-da. All right. We have that. And then we have this one. Now here we already have a pocket, and I'm going to just set that in there. I'll probably add some other things, but I think, you know, you could journal on this. It's the top portion of one of the pages. Okay. Which way do I want to turn it? Doesn't matter. All right. And I could also put a little piece of that in there. So on this side, I'm trying to think of something interesting. Let's look and see if one of these circles. Ooh, that yellow would be pretty right there, wouldn't it? I usually either ink everything or I ink nothing. I'm like, I'm not going to ink this fussy cut, and I'm inking everything else. So, you know, you just can make up the rules as you go. There are no rules. How's that? No rules, just happiness. Okay, I'm going to write that same quote because I love it. So, I love my brown pen. In fact, it's almost out of ink. I may have to get another one. It's a coffee brown. Okay, the earth laughs in flowers. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Okay, I was going to mention, I have not gotten to it. A couple of you have asked, but I particularly exchanged messages with one of you about if I were to do a digital, you know, printable with some quotes written out in my handwriting that you guys can then purchase or whatever and download and use in your projects. And not exactly my wheelhouse. I'm going to have to learn how to do that a little bit. And I know that you offered to help and you kind of know how to do all of that. I am going to try to get to that. It's definitely not going to be before I go on vacation, but I haven't forgotten about it. I'm also thinking about making sure it's, what's the right word? Quotes you're allowed to use, and then, because like, you know, a word, I can always do a list of words, and delightful, beautiful, or you are strong, you know, things that aren't really attributed to anywhere. When I start thinking about the quotes, I've got to make sure they're public domain. That's the word I'm using. So anyway, I'm giving it some thought, and then the technical part too of actually writing them out, getting them scanned in, turned into that digital. So anyway, I'm working on it. I haven't forgotten, and I do think it's a fun idea. So we'll see. We'll see if I get that done. All right, I think for now, I'm going to leave mine simple. I have a pocket. I have beautiful flowers to look at. I have this wonderful little scrappy pad of paper. Yeah. Again, keep going if you want to. Add more ribbon, add bleed. You know, have at it. So let me real quick get this one. And if you are making yours to go into your journal, I am going to, I'm going to probably have the blue be the real front, even though the other one opens the exact same way, but you can decide. So I'm going to open mine up, and this flip out page I'm going to put on this panel. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and attach it so you guys can see me do that. So I know I want it to be open here to be a pocket, right? So I'm going to flip everything over. I'm going to hold it so I don't accidentally glue that down, and we're going to add glue to those three sides. And if you're, you know, again, you can make these for any journals and any size. I'm going to give you the measurements for the size of mine and the layering papers, but whatever size your journal is can help you determine what size you want this to be. Okay, let's just open that. Get it in there really good. So exciting. Love it. Okay, and then the beautiful thing is, look at this. We'll make some things to go in here in one of the other videos. This is part 2. So next, part 3, we will probably, not gonna hold myself to this 1000%, decorate the front and maybe make some pieces of ephemera to go in a pocket, and start thinking about, maybe we'll decorate the front and the back, these other panels, and of course we have all the pages too. So I have lots of videos on journal page ideas and how to decorate pages. So I'll probably, maybe even in one of the videos pull out one of my idea books that we worked on in way back videos, and then use some of these things in book pages and put some of those ideas in this journal, and we can refresh our memory on some of those. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So maybe definitely 2 more in this series, maybe 3. So we'll see. Okay, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Tammy, Sheila, please send me an email. Congratulations. Thank you to everybody who has supported me. Thank you guys who entered, who downloaded the kit. The digital kit is there for free. I'll buy me a copy, so go enjoy it. If you didn't win and you don't print, it is available for purchase in my Etsy shop, but again, no pressure. It's just there if you do want it. So something to think about, and I just can't say thank you enough. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. Until next time, have a great day.